Right, this video is to talk a little bit about Speedgrader, which is the grading platform within Canvas. So when you open up your dashboard, you open up Canvas for the first time, you can see notifications here in your to-do list of anything you have that actively needs grading. Canvas does not notify you when multiple choice assignments are completely graded. If all of the grading is done automatically, Canvas doesn't notify you, it just kind of grades things. The notifications that you will see is only for things that you have to actively go in and grade yourself. So maybe like constructed response or anything that has writing on it, anything that requires you to go in and assign points and assign value, that will show up in your to-dos. Otherwise, the assignment will just automatically grade itself. When you look in your to-dos, to access Speedgrader, all you have to do is click on this notification and Speedgrader will open in a new window. You can see here how many submissions have been made for that particular assignment. You can see what class, how many points it was worth, the due date. You won't see the date that these submissions were turned in. You'll only see the actual due date for the assignment. And it will continue to notify you anytime something is turned in, even if it's turned in late. You'll still see submissions for those. So if you want to access Speedgrader from your dashboard page, all you do is click the assignment here. Another way to get to Speedgrader is from the assignments. If you navigate to assignments once you're inside a class, this is an old class, it's from last year, so I can't get all of the features on it here. But if I wanted to grade something for a particular assignment, I would go to these three dots. And if this was an active class, Speedgrader would be one of the options here. I could click Speedgrader. Since this class is closed, that function is closed for this particular page. But if it's an active class with things going on right now, you should be able to click on Speedgrader from the actual assignments page. Another way you can do it is you can come here on the navigation and go down to grades. Another way to find Speedgrader is to go to the gradebook and see the assignment. So I've created this warm-up here. It's for context clues and acronyms. If I want to go to the Speedgrader, grade that daily warm-up, I can click the three dots that pop up when I hover over the assignment. And Speedgrader is one of the options. I can select Speedgrader there and it will open in a new tab the grading platform for this particular warm-up. One other way you can do that before we come back to look at this screen is if I open the assignment itself, there's always a Speedgrader option up here in the top right, whether it's an assignment, whether it's a quiz. This warm-up is set up like a quiz. Whether it's an assignment, a quiz, a discussion, anything that has grades associated with it, Speedgrader will pop up as an option if you open the assignment itself. So if we go back and look at Speedgrader, what kinds of options and things do we see within it? So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the students' work. I see what they see, I see the answers they selected, so I can see the content that was there for them. I can see the answer choices they saw, and if you have answer choice shuffle on, you will see the question choices in the order that they saw them as well. So if every student is shuffled a little bit, you'll see the order they saw with shuffle turned on. I have the option to leave a comment on this particular one. So if this is multiple choice and I'm like, hey, you keep misreading this particular type of question, here's a note for that. Canvas will notify them that comments have been left on their work so they can go in and see your comments as well. You can add points, you can manually adjust points if you want to. You can go through, you can see the score. Congratulations, the student made 100. How many points the assignment was worth, how long they took to do the warm-up, how long they took to do the assignment. You can go through, you can see all of their answer choices. It has happened before that I've accidentally made the multiple choice and selected the wrong answer, or the key is wrong. I can go through and regrade from this Speedgrader. So any student who has completely finished the test, I can go through and say, oh, sorry guys, the answer was supposed to be A, I'll go back and fix that. I can regrade, and for every student that has completed the assignment already, it will go in and automatically adjust the grades for them. I can change point values, who gets the points. I can make it so that everyone got points because that was my fault. I can, all kinds of edits you can make there if you want to. You can leave comments, like I said, for every single question. There's always a comment pop-up. Even if the grading is automatic, there's a place where you can leave a comment. This one was a constructed response section, so they had to type something in here. I'm able to go in, see what he typed, and if I liked it, all I have to do is hit the check mark and it will give them full credit. I can hit the X, it will automatically give them 0 credit, or I can manually assign them a point value. Maybe I wanted to give him half credit because he got half the answer correct. I can manually type in 0.5 or whatever I want. I can also leave a comment, like we said, everywhere you go. This is a writing question kind of in the middle of all the multiple choice. If I had not graded it yet, this was still actively needing to grade, you would see hot links that pop up here at the top that say, you need to grade question 7. And I can click on that one and it would jump me directly down to question 7. So it's very easy to navigate, especially if you've got a longer assignment with multiple choice and constructed response kind of mixed together. It will jump around for you so that you can easily get to the stuff that needs grading and not have to manually scroll all the way through the assignment each time. I can just jump straight to 6. Once I've made any edits I like, down at the bottom, I can hit update. I can also fudge some points. Maybe a student did some extra credit and I want to add 2 points to their assignment. I can manually fudge it by 2 and that will add in the extra credit for them. I'm going to do that because this class is over. I don't want to make any mistakes. But when you're finished, you can hit update and everything can go in. You can also do negative points as well. Maybe they cheated on another classmate or maybe it was late and you want to deduct 5 points for being late, or maybe you want to take off 5 points for coming out of the tab and looking things up on Google. I don't know, whatever you want to do. You can fudge points to the positive and negative as well. So it's very customizable for you without you having to do a lot of math. It'll do it for you. I have a late policy. If my students turn in an assignment, like a homework assignment late, I'm going to take 20% off. I can do that here. I can manually adjust it here. I can do it in other places as well. Like I said, it's very customizable. Some other features you'll see here on the Speedgrader page is you can see this is a button that will take you directly back to the gradebook. It will take you out of whatever you're grading. This is a hide grades. So I have my gradebook set up so that all grades are hidden as soon as they're graded. That means that students can't see their work as soon as I finish grading it. I personally don't like it when some students who are like the beginning of the alphabet, they always see their grades first because I'm going alphabetically down the list. They can see their grade while people at the end may have to wait a day or two for me to grade theirs. I like to hide the grades, which just hides them from the students until I'm completely finished and I'm ready, and then I can post the grades so that everyone sees their results at the same time. Especially for longer assignments, like if I have essays to grade, I like to hide the grades just because it can take me a week or more to grade a class worth of essays, and I think it's more fair if everyone gets to see their grade at the same time instead of everyone going at different parts of the day. Also, sometimes if I'm like staying up late to grade, I don't want them to know I graded. I don't want them to know I stayed up till 11:30 p.m. grading their assignments, so I can lock and hide the grades there. Another element that I like here on the gradebook is the settings. So there is a settings option you can go through, and these options allow you to basically make it a little bit more fair. They let you sort things however you like. You can hide the student names so that everything is graded anonymously. If you're afraid that you might have like a bias, or if you don't want to like know who's you're grading, anything like that, you can hide the names and it will just say things like student 1, student 2, student 3. You can also grade by question. So maybe if the only thing you have to grade, you gave a long test and there's constructed response in the middle, and you want to grade all the number 1s, and then you want to go through and grade all the number 2s, you can do it this way. Grade by question will let you just toggle back and forth through. I like to use this one, especially when I have that longer test and there's one question in the middle. I don't want to do a lot of scrolling. Every time I toggle to the next student, it will automatically pop me down to number 6 on that student. So I can see without having to do a lot of scrolling and have to find it or click the link every time. It just makes it a little bit faster. I can also sort my students lots of different ways. I can sort by their name. This is the default, their student last name. If you have more than one section of the same class, they'll all be together in the same Canvas course. So it'll be all of your students. If I've got 60 students, it will have all 60 students who do this assignment in the same Speedgrader. So I can go through their name alphabetically. That means that doesn't matter what class they're in, I'll just be working through the alphabetical list. I can sort by the day they completed the assignment, submission status, I can randomize my students. It's completely up to you, very customizable. Another thing I can do, speaking of sorting, is I have 3 sections of this class. So I'm teaching the same class to first, third, and fourth period. Sometimes Canvas puts them out of order. It's super weird. If you can go into the People tab in Canvas and label your sections, they will show up that way here. So I can toggle and say, I want to grade only my first period students. Maybe I didn't assign it to everyone, or maybe my brain just wants to break it down into pieces. So instead of having, however many students to do, right now I'm working my way through the 10 students in this particular section of the class. I can toggle through and see who is who. Another thing you're always going to see is a test student. So Canvas gives you like a practice page. Whenever you say, I want to view things as a student, you are viewing things as the test student. So it gives you the option to kind of see what you're doing. It also means that your number of students in your class is going to be inflated by 1 because you're going to see that test student here who obviously hasn't done it because they don't exist. So if I come in for this particular student, I can see how they did, I can see their time. Some other information up here is how many out of how many are graded for this section. Right now I'm limited to just 1 class period. So I have 9 out of 10 of them have been graded because I haven't graded that test student. They didn't do anything. I can also see the average. Of those that are showing at the moment, of the 10 that are showing at the moment, the average score is a 1.86 out of 2. So everybody's making about a 93% on this assignment, which is really nice. I can also see which assignment am I on at the moment. If I'm just going next, 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 I'm on the 7th out of the 10 in the class. So just a few more to go and then I'll be finished. I can also grade them all together. It'll refresh itself and I can see out of all 37 students who are in this particular English 3 class that I'm teaching, no matter which class periods that is, currently I'm on student 25 out of the 37, just if I'm going down through all my students alphabetically. This is also a really nice feature over here. I can see when did the student actually turn it in. So the due date is listed over here, August 9th, 2023 at 3 p.m. They turned it in on the right day at 8:23 a.m. So this was my first period student. I can see what they made. I can see the score. If this was an active class, I would usually be able to go in and manually adjust the score if I need to. Also, if this was an active class, there would be a box here where I can add whole assignment comments. I can add specific question comments over here on that particular question, or I can leave them a comment on the whole assignment, such things like, hey, your spelling was really atrocious, you need to work on that. Or I can say things like, you did a really good job, congratulations, this is an improvement, whatever it happens to be. Another thing you can add is flags. So if this student turned in something late, I can flag it as late. I can show things as missing. I can give them excused or exempt. It means that it will not count against them if I select this one. Right now there are no flags selected for this assignment. They are color coordinated in the gradebook. Each of these flags has a different color. So if you go to the gradebook, you can see at later points, here are some students that have flags. So I can see this student didn't turn anything in, it's flagged as missing. This one is flagged as late, whatever it happens to be. It will color coordinate those in the gradebook for you. When you are grading things, you can go through the Speedgrader. This is an assignment that was graded with no rubric. So when I look at a similar assignment here, so I've created an assignment in Canvas. I've got explanation of what they need to do, how are they turning things in, they're turning things in through a website, due date, yada yada, everything's here. If this is an active class, at the bottom I would have an option to add a rubric. Right now I don't have any rubric assigned for this particular assignment. So when I go to the Speedgrader, what I'm seeing is just a place for me to leave grades and a place for me to leave comments. I can also flag it if I want to. They've turned in a website URL. So this is how I get my students, I can toggle this bigger or smaller. This is how I get my students to turn in Google Docs to me. They send me the sharing link. When I click here on the link they sent me, it will load their Google Doc over here on the left-hand side, I can see all of their work. I can see their editing history. So I can go back and see, like, did they type it all at once? Was there copy pasting going on? Like, I'm seeing their Google Doc. So I can grade, I can see the information here on this side. I can add my grades. I can add comments over here. If I want, I can go in and add comments directly onto the Google Doc itself. It's really, really handy. All kinds of feedback options you can give them there. This is what it looks like to grade an assignment, especially a Google assignment, that does not have a rubric. Word docs, they load super easily within Canvas. I get my students to turn in basically everything this way. Also, I have the option to click here to view in a new tab. It will open it up in a completely different tab. So if you have something like a Google site, Google Sites, if they're making them, they don't load so well within Canvas. PowerPoints sometimes will load, sometimes will not. If you have any trouble at all you have to do is hit view in a new tab and it will pop out to the next tab for you. As long as they have their sharing permissions set, super easy to see within Gradebook. This is an assignment that does have a rubric attached to it. So when I created the assignment, I hit little plus rubric down at the bottom and I created a rubric for the assignment. Rubrics are very customizable. I'll do another video about them later, but as long as the option to grade using rubric is set, then this rubric will pop up in the Speedgrader for you. So I have the ranges of points. There's the option to add more info within these. I'll talk about that later. But if I have a rubric attached to the assignment, when I open Speedgrader, it will look like this. So I will see the student's assignment over here. They just had a text box. They just had to type in an answer. And then over here, I will be able to click View Rubric, and it will let me manipulate their grade. So I can click, yep, full points. I can just go click, click, click. I can add comments within the rubric itself. I can add comments to the entire assignment. Like I said, if this was an active class, there would also be another assignment box down here at the bottom that would be kind of like a general assignment section for the whole page. Or I can click within the specific element of the rubric. I can leave a comment here for them as well. Once I go click, 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 leave a comment, all I have to do is hit update and the grade will pop up and it will automatically be graded for me using the rubric. I like using rubrics a lot, especially for more complicated assignments that may require lots of different elements. If I want to toggle within my students, like I said, I can scroll. I will see the check mark once they are finished being graded, and I will see a little orange circle if they have not been graded yet. So lots of different options here within Speedgrader, lots of options to leave comments, which is super handy when you're trying to go quick.